Did you know some AI startups are spending more on artificial intelligence than they are on their entire payroll? And the solution? They're ditching American-made models for cheaper Chinese alternatives. This is the story of the biggest hidden expense in tech right now, and how some companies are saving millions. Artificial intelligence was supposed to make businesses more efficient, save money, and boost productivity. But for a growing number of startups, AI has become their single biggest cost. We're talking about companies where the monthly API bill from companies like Anthropic and OpenAI exceeds rent, payroll, and office expenses combined. And the response has been dramatic. Companies are switching en masse to cheaper, open-source Chinese models. Today we're breaking down the AI cost crisis, how much companies are really spending, and what this means for the future of the industry. Let's start with some staggering numbers. In the first half of 2026, global venture funding hit a record $510 billion. But here's the catch. A huge portion of that money is being burned on AI inference costs. Companies like Uber blew through their entire annual AI budget in just one quarter. Their CEO admitted it publicly. They set aside a budget for the entire year and it was gone in 3 months. Lindy.ai, a company that builds AI assistants, found that their Anthropic bill was the single largest expense on their books. More than payroll. More than rent. More than everything else combined. Their CEO said, and I quote, "By far our number one expense was Anthropic, like more than payroll." Think about that for a second. An AI model provider was costing more than the people building the product. This is not sustainable, and companies are waking up to that reality. So what's the solution? For many, it's switching to Chinese open-source models. And the savings are absolutely wild. Lindy.ai switched all of their traffic to DeepSeek v4, a Chinese model, and their costs dropped by 10 times. Just like that. Their CEO described it as a very, very simple business decision. Another company using Minimax M3 for repetitive coding tasks found it cost 1/10 of what they were paying before. There's a great analogy from the founder of Featherless, a model hub offering over 30,000 AI models. He said it's like the difference between driving a Ferrari and a Honda. You can have the best luxury car, or you can have a Honda that works reliably at scale. For most business applications, the Honda is perfectly fine. The gap between frontier American models and open-source Chinese alternatives is shrinking fast. These Chinese models are only about 6 to 12 months behind, and for the vast majority of business use cases, that gap simply doesn't matter. Now, here's the fascinating part about how companies are navigating this. Many are using what's called a hybrid routing strategy. They keep the frontier American models like Anthropic and OpenAI for the really hard stuff, the deep reasoning tasks that require the absolute best performance. But for the high-volume, repetitive tasks, things like customer support, code generation, and data processing, they route to cheaper Chinese models. And this hybrid approach is becoming standard practice. Companies don't have to publicly advertise which models they use. Many avoid it due to political sensitivities. But behind the scenes, the shift is massive. On OpenRouter, a popular model marketplace, DeepSeek usage rose from about 9% to roughly 20% since the start of 2026. That's more than doubling in just 6 months. Subscribe to see where this trend is headed in just a moment. But here's the really interesting part. American AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI are currently subsidizing their usage to capture customers. They're burning cash to build market share. Sound familiar? It's the classic Silicon Valley playbook. but both companies are heading toward IPOs. Anthropic is valued at nearly $1 trillion and OpenAI could be worth $1.77 trillion. Once they go public, the pressure to show profitability becomes overwhelming. And that means those subsidies will end. Prices for frontier models may actually go up. One startup founder put it bluntly. He said he'll keep using Anthropic and OpenAI for now because the quality is better. But the moment those subsidies stop, he's switching. And he's not alone. Economists tracking corporate spending are watching this closely. The moment American AI companies raise prices, the exodus to cheaper Chinese models could accelerate dramatically. The question is whether U.S. companies will respond with competitive pricing before it's too late. So here's where we are. The AI industry is facing its first real cost reckoning. Startups are bleeding money on inference, and the smart ones are already diversifying their model choices. The Chinese open-source ecosystem is absolutely dominating the cost-effective segment, and the gap with frontier American models is shrinking every month. Whether you're a founder, an investor, or just someone using AI tools, this shift affects you. The days of unlimited AI spending are over. The era of intelligent model selection has begun. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash the like button and subscribe for more AI business breakdowns every week. We'll see you in the next video.